So I have the pleasure of interviewing you, Adelino Cunha, the CEO of IHTP, also known as I Have the Power.
My pleasure, yes.
And I wanted to start with an icebreaker. So could you choose 3 adjectives that describe you and explain why?
Happy, because I think I'm happy. Happy is a state of mind, it's an emotion, and most of the time I try to do my best to, independently of what's happening on the environment, to be happy to be alive, to be happy to be with my family, to be happy to be with me. So I think that's the adjective that I will choose, yes.
And if you had to choose a second one?
The second one, dreamer. Dreamer. I have a lot of dreams. My wife is a professional dreamer, so every day she dreams professionally. She sees things and she shares with me his ideas, so I'm in a dreaming environment. So yes, I have a lot of dreams, so usually I say to my customers and my friends, I'm in the moment that I don't know what I want in life. I'm on a flat mode, so don't worry. If you want some dreams, I can give you. So I have a lot of them. So yes, I'm a dreamer.
I'm a dreamer. Happy, a dreamer.
Yes.
And because things always go in threes.
Yes.
What would be the third?
The third
adjective?
one. Third one. Hope. Hope. I believe in humans. I believe that we will have a future, depending on these areas that people are very focused now about the earth, the problems with the sustainability and things like that. I believe that at the end we always find solutions. So I'm also a believer. So I believe in God. So I'm a Catholic, not someone that is practicing, but I believe so. I think we are not here by chance. So we are here with our brain has so many capabilities that, as usually say, we are not made to have kids and put them on the university. So we have so many resources that I think they will not given to us, so we can do small things. So that relates to dreaming. So we have to dream because we have capabilities, and if we dream and we have capabilities and we are aware of that, we should be happy to be alive and to have the opportunity to change the world, and change people and change things. And to, probably the most important project it will to change ourselves. So it's probably will be the most difficult one.
You're an accomplished writer, mentor, a coach, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, but that's not where you started your career.
Yes.
You started in information technology.
Yes.
What drove you to change your career path?
So even before IT, I went to be a doctor. I will be a doctor. So it was a book from Dale Carnegie called How to Influence People that start this journey with me. So and sometimes I don't like injustice. So I come from a small area here in Porto, fishing place with a lot of fish, and so with a lot of poor people. I'm not a rich guy, I don't come from a rich family, so I come from a family that is what we are calling a working family, and my mother had she built her business with 12 years. So I had the entrepreneurship combined with someone that works for others, so in the same family. So, but there are a lot of values that I usually saw to be corrupted, do not functioning, and I was focused on that. So, so I went to go to a doctor, not to change the world, because on that moment, to be a doctor is how to make most of the money here in Porto in 1980. But that book started the journey to reading books on personal development, self-help. It's what it was called on that time. Now we have a lot of complexity, coaching, NLP, but that time it was self-help. And then I realized I didn't know anything about people, how to manage people, how to relate with people, how to communicate. No education in Portugal with a lot of time about that. So I started reading it, and one of the books, it was written, people of success, they know what they want in life. So I start to think, what do I want? I realized that I don't know, but I really knew something. I don't want to be a doctor. So I try to think what will be nice for me, what I will make me happy in the future. And the future is something important for me. So I want to be in the future. So I don't want to go to the past and watching the place where we live. I don't want this kind of world for me and my family or anyone. I want to change this kind of world. So computers is something that was rising in 1980 with Spectrum and ZX80. And think, computers, this will be the future. I like the future, let's try it. So I go to applied mathematics and computers. So that's it. So then at the same time that I was studying on the university and working on software development, and at the same time I started always reading something, studying something every day. So that's why I got a lot of information that I could put in practice on leadership with my teams, and trying to understand better myself, trying to understand other people. And with that, it was a moment, 20 years after, that I decided I have to do something that I read on another book, that it was a very interesting aspect, a new way of seeing things. The author, I don't remember the author, but it told us most of the people, they are passionate about their hobbies, they are in pain about their work. If you want to be happy, change that. So how they call it, monetize your passion. So I was passionate about people and studying these things. And I was not so many passionate about software development. I was a member of the board of one company, so I have 30 and plus years. I do not want to be like that until the end of my life. I want to evolve. And then I do as the author said, so monetize your passion. So I changed from being my hobby, reading and studying and working the people area, and I put that as my brand. I have the power. And now my hobby is computers. So,
and it's been, you celebrated this year, I Have the Power's 25th anniversary.
20 years, I Have the Power, yes. Okay. And my company started in 1997 on IT, and then I Have the Power 2003, so this month, at the 22nd of September, it's when I put the brand, I registered the brand. So we have right now 20 years, yes.
20 years?
Yes.
You must have had along the way many challenges and setbacks.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could share one particular setback, an experience, a failure, and what you learned from that and how it brought you forward after.
Well, from 20 years, the worst moment, it happened when one of our customers, that is a huge friend of one of our consultants, tell him, George, I will go out of working with you. I will not go learning anymore with you because you are like the other ones. And George asked him, what do you mean about that? I'm on a training with you, a coaching training with you, with one of your trainers, and what I noticed that you say something and you do the opposite, like the rest. And this is very important because one of our values of the brand is congruence. So this could not happen. No one in I Have the Power will teach what he doesn't practice. So George came with me, and that starts the beginning of finding and searching what's happening. And I realized that 4 of the people of my team, they are all together preparing to have another team removing customers from our team to their new company. That was the worst moment. It was the lack of loyalty, the lack of honesty, the lack of truth. It was the deepest moment. Fortunately, I have NLP tools, so I can quickly react and transform that on forgiveness. So there is a reason why they need that. They need to do it. So first of all, accept what you can change, then forgive them, and then start to understand and to get information. I talked with our lawyer, of course, because we have a brand, an important brand. He told us what you want to do, and I told him I don't want to go after anyone. They go to their lives, we continue to our lives, and that's what we did. So it was the worst moment when I realized that sometimes we don't understand what's happening with people. So we have a lot of knowledge about people, and we don't understand people. So what's happening, why they do it, why, if they are not okay, why I don't speak with them like I used to do with other people. I don't like, I want to go to another project, I want to go to build my company. Why not go in and work together? If you're going to go to another company, let's go and put something together, build projects together. No, people, and I find a lot of people like that. So they want to take care of everything. So they don't want to work together. They want to go against other people. So they went out. We continue, of course. It was the best year of our company. We doubled our revenue on that year because the rest of the team, we are a transparent team. So I spoke with them exactly what happened. Whatever you want, if you go with them, go. If you want to stay with us, stay. This team got together and we doubled our results on the following year. But that was the worst moment, yes.
In that industry, and you were talking about it, there's a lot of competition, and in the global professional development and personal development field, we're predicting about 5 to 10% growth in the next 5 years in this particular industry. There's been an expansion and explosion of skill set services on social media. And I'm wondering, so when someone is searching for a skill set or a company is searching for a particular skill set service, what do they need to be aware of, and what do they need to take care of selecting?
Yeah. Well, if I'm talking to someone that is a customer, an individual or a company that doesn't know anything about this area, because it's a very confusing area, a lot of names, and
a lot of competition.
Yes, a lot of competition. What they want, what I think they should do, they should try to understand, first of all, if they are congruent. So if, for example, if they have a leader or a teacher or a coach, if they are congruent to what they teach to others. I personally, I do not follow anyone that teach me something that he couldn't practice. I do not believe in that. Even if someone tells me, Adelino, I don't want to be happy to take care of happiness. Sorry, I disagree. Because there are a lot of things that you will only know and understand if you practice. Here in Portugal, you have people talking about entrepreneurship, and they didn't build anything on a company. So if you try to help people only reading, it's not enough. You have to study, like I do, and then put in practice, understand the problems and the difficulties that you have, learn with that, so you'll be able to teach someone. So that's my way of see things. So try always to find professionals and companies that they do what they promote to others, what they tell to others.
They apply.
If they apply what they do, how are their results? So even on some areas like spirituality, for example, people that speak about spirituality and they are not spiritual. So I don't understand that. So that's, I think it's the most important part. Then the quality of the services. And this area, it's very important to watch who will deliver the service, the person. So try to understand, to meet the person, to speak with the person, see if you relate with that person. Because, for example, if you're going to have a coach, sometimes you're going to share with that coach very personal things. So there are a lot of values that are on that area. That person should understand that what you are going to talk on the coaching session, it will be only on the coaching session, not to be spread on the social networks. So I think those will be the most important. Understand the alignment or the congruency of the services, and then the person or the team that will deliver the service. And I think if that's okay, why not? Just try it, yes.
When we're talking about services, I have a booklet here with a description of all your services. And on the first page, when I open the booklet, it indicates that I Have the Power is the company that won an award for the happiest company in Portugal.
Yes.
What would your employees say about I Have the Power?
Yes, we have for 8 years in a row, we are on the top of the happiest companies in Portugal. And that is a title that is delivered for an outsider company. So it's an independent study with an university in Portugal. And then they ask people, do you want to be able to be tested about that? So yes, I want. And then they talk to the people that work with us, because we are a company, we don't have employees, we have people that work with us. And they have forms that they have to answer, that they are anonymous, and that the rest of that, they compute that information, they say you are on the top 10 companies that are happy. So I'm a happy person, as I told you before, but to build a happy company, it's not the same thing. Because we are building a company with people that sometimes they are not happy. So, but what they realize is the environment, what we do daily allows them to be more happy, even if they don't are happy. So sometimes they are not happy, and sometimes I'm not happy with the results, for example. So I think to be happy, probably the most important thing is to be true. So if something is wrong, I tell him, this is not correct. This is not the way how you should do it. If they do something correct, and I tell them, congratulations. So they always see that. They will never see someone that tells them, congratulations, because I need to give you a recognition of something you didn't do. And I should not tell them, you're wrong, if they do it right. So the truth, I think, it's the basis of happiness. So they find that. So problem if sometimes they have problems at home, and they come to talk with me or with some of us, or talk each other, they know that the colleague will tell them the truth, how they think, how they see that. I think probably it's the way I think they think. So because sometimes I ask them, what do you think? And they tell me something. So I give much more importance of the opinion that are anonymous. So I don't have to tell you something because I think you should think I'm okay with you. So they are free to write whatever they want. We don't have access to the answers. They only give us an index.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. When I follow along with this sector, in the English-speaking world, there's an enormous variety of skill set services. Why should one choose I have the power?
Well, because if we are put in practice, applying what we study, and relate it with what I told you before, I'm a dreamer, I'm a believer, I'm happy. Why thinking small? So, and I have the power starts in 2003 because there is some other things on that year. It was a time in Portugal when people, when they want to ask a motivational speaker, they send someone from Brazil to Portugal. So I didn't understand why you have to import people in this area. So I start to realize, why do not export these kind of services? So this technology, NLP, coaching, these are universal knowledge. Why should we always thinking about English people? Americans, they have to come here. Brazilians, they have to come here. English, they have to come here. Why don't we go there? So, but if I go to Russia, eu tenho poder, it's the meaning of I have the power, it will not be easy. So, to find a brand that could start from Portugal, go worldwide, we have to realize that we can create a brand that means nothing, or when I realize the name I have the power, because it means something that I truly believe. I have the power. Each person has the power. And I was surprised because the brand was not registered on this area. So sometimes you think, well, someone has already think about it. So when I realized I have the power is not registered in this area, so I registered, and it's an English spoken, it's a phrase, not an English word, and it means so much, and can be spread worldwide. So that was the reason why, even being a person that believes that we Portuguese have so much to deliver to the world, because we have a special way of seeing things and to relate with different people that come from different countries, even from our history. So we can relate with so many peoples and cultures. We should put that in Portuguese, but being a realistic person, probably a mathematician, I have to understand that English is the global language today. So that's why it was in English.
Okay. We were talking about different cultures. I was looking at some reports from the McKinsey Institute for Black Mobility and Economy in the UK. And they were talking about how workplace equity is a real challenge. And I was wondering, how does I Have the Power address intersectionality and workplace equality?
Well, our company, we are a small company. So, but in our company, I don't have to worry about that. It's quite, because for me, woman, man, the color of the skin, what they think about sex, and if they are hetero or homo, for me they are people. So In my company, we don't have to take care of that. If you are Catholic or you don't have any religion, we are independent of that. We don't have to take care of that on our company. So, but when we are addressing customers, there is a huge problem. We have a huge problem, and some guys they don't like some of my speeches because I'm also a trainer, but I give coaching with a lot of years. I listen to so many things, and we have to change the way how we educate, how we teach women. They have a lot of emotional problems. If I compared women and men, women, they have much more problems when they come to coaching. The way how they relate emotions compared with men, they have much more problems. And one of the things that why that happened, I believe, is how they are being educated on their families and even on the society. But the family is very important. How we address our daughter, it will transform that person. So a lot of problems. But when we are talking with men, when we are going to lunch with men, sometimes I listen the way how they think about women. We have to re-educate men. And I usually tell them, so sometimes they don't think women as humans, and they should. So that will not happen on using apps. You build a app, then people use apps on the company to see if they are happy and to see how much time you work and how much time you spend with one person. We have to be much more deeper to change that. So we have to even put people to think. Why do you think that someone that's another sex is different? But different in what? So I think philosophy has a place in this. So the people are not thinking deeply on this. So they are doing things. We have to have a new thing to show to people, so we can show the company that we are taking care of work-life balance. We are much more focused on that. But sometimes that is marketing. That really doesn't happening on the minds of the people. We have to change the minds and at the same time change the procedures, change what they are doing. And we have to work on those areas altogether. If you only change the procedures and the way how things are doing, and you don't change the minds, probably in the future we'll have the same problems or worse problems. So for me, people are people. And to get to right now with young people, so we are talking about sex preferences. It's huge. So now the male and female, forget that. So they are not on that mood. So it's different ways of thinking the same things. So to understand that what is freedom, what is freedom? What you should go to be a free person until which boundary? What is the moment where your freedom has to be stopped? Should we stop? So now is the time where these discussions are coming, and with coaching and the NLP tools, we can help people so they can be more balanced on that. But probably on other generation will be able, if possible, to start building from scratch the new kids with a new kind of education, so they can really understand the other people and not be on a position of power. Because I see power from men when they are in position of power, and sometimes I see the same with women. They reach the power level and they do the same thing that men have done with her. and they are not balanced. They have to be more balanced.
Yeah. So a parallel discourse or debate, I would say, to workplace equality is often the debate over privilege.
Yes.
This is something when one crosses the ocean to the US that is with affirmative action, and privilege is a very present debate at the moment. And there's this dichotomy of when you're in the USA, in America, you can work and create your dream. But at the same time, now is coming out of the woodwork this idea that, no, wait a minute, it's privilege that allows you to create your dream, and it's privilege that allows you to be successful. How does I Have the Power and your company deal with structural privilege?
Well, I don't know what you mean with structural privilege.
I think it goes back to, one can have a vision and a dream.
Okay.
But then you find yourself, we were talking about equality with women and men, with racism and colonialism. There's also a structure there that keeps these, so it's not just the individual.
Yeah, the society is working, all right.
The society, or sometimes the business, or a community keeps a structure in place that, despite the change of mind, despite somebody being ready, having the dream, they find themselves in an environment, a structure that restricts them.
Yes.
How can I Have the Power intervene, or how do you address that?
Yes. Well, we work on this area of the body, so we have to change the people's minds so they can change the structure. We have to change the structures because I felt that personally. And if I got back to my origins, I lived in an environment that if I didn't have my parents tell me, you can cross that structure and go after your dreams, probably today I will be a person working one of two areas. I will be working on the fishing area, or I will be working on construction, because the environment on that moment put the young people on those kind of professions. We need someone, my parents in this case, that have another vision that allowed me through education that you can go to like a social elevator, social change, that you can go after your dreams. But if I didn't have those parents, probably I probably will even knew that there were a new set of opportunities. So the change will always come from people, from leaders on a company or inside a company, not the owner of the company. The leadership can come from everyone. So on social areas, on political areas, someone that said, I'm going to change this environment, being able to understand that we'll have a lot of defensive trends, that people that don't want to change because they are the owners of the structure. So we see that what's happening on the Catholic Church, trying to change things, and they are opposition. So always comes to people. If we are going to change the world, I have the power to give the first step to change my environment. So I'm going to change myself. So when I see other people try to understand what's happening, instead of have a preconcept about that person, then I'm going to change the way how I raise my kids, for example, or I have my family, of the kind of family I'm going to build. So then I work on some place. So stop being someone that disagree but doesn't speak. So if you are on a company, start speaking about things. So ask questions. So there is a lot of people that they want to change the world with their mouth shut. I do not believe in that. So they have to ask questions, sometimes not very easy questions. Because my origins, I was doing that on the company I work with and on the university I work with. So if for example, if you define 7 o'clock to have a meeting with teachers on our department on the university, why are we here at 7 o'clock and the manager of the department comes at 7:30? Sorry, we are busy people. The next meeting we will be at 7:30, or do you prefer at 7? Sorry guys, I was late, I have an appointment. Okay, so next one we should put it at 7:30. We are changing the environment. Yeah. So I see a lot of people that they do not speak because they are afraid. We do not live, we live on an environment of fear. We have to move to an environment of confidence, of trust. And that has to be made with people. Mm-hmm. So don't try to be prime minister to change the world. You will need to change the world now, start today. And just do it. So it's like Nike. It's like, just do it. Start doing it. When I saw on the paper a small code some years ago, I was a member of the board. I went and asked the question, why is this code here? And the one person told me, you don't need to know that. Sorry, I'm the responsible for this invoice. What is the meaning of this code? I need to do it, to know. You don't need to know that. Forget that code. A code, 2 digits. Yeah. Forget that code. No. I believe in trust. I believe in honesty. I believe in justice. What is the meaning of the code? I tell you, you don't need to know the code. That's not correct. If you're not okay, you can leave. I left. So I left from being a member of the board and I started my own company. So I know I have customers that tell me, I cannot do that because if I go and and align myself, I will lose my family. I listen to these kind of things. Because we have an environment. I have a good job. I make a lot of money. My kids on a special school. We have a set of friends. If I go and align myself, mm-hmm. I will lose my wife and my family. This is not happiness. So, I know that this is possible because I just made it. I know what is coming to my wife and tell them, because of a code, because of values, I will stop being a member of the board of a company and I will be an employee. So we need more people that are being able to do this, and 20, 30 years after, they will be CEOs of their own companies with different values, with different missions, and working every day to change the world for the better. This is possible, but not always waiting that other people do my job.
That other people ask questions.
Questions is very important in coaching, as you know. So we are trained to put good questions. Well, we have a lot of things. As I told you, I'm a dreamer. So I can share some of our dreams. One of them is to be able to give, to make an event on one of the largest stadiums of the world in Rio de Janeiro. So from October last year, we start moving to today we have customers from 80 countries that mainly they buy things online in Portuguese, even from Japan. So Japanese students of Portuguese, they find us on the internet and they buy things from us in Portuguese. We have some companies that asks our project in English also. Mainly multinationals, they want leadership training in English, for example. Now is the time, from October last year, to find partners on different places that they are on those countries and to whom we can work with, so they can spreading the word of this philosophy or these ideas that we have on Eye of the Power. And Eye of the Power will be like the factory. So we have the contents and we deliver on different countries, on different languages, supported by those international partners. So that's the idea today. One of my dreams, we have in Porto what we call the first Eye of the Power Excellence Center. It's a place where you have training rooms and coaching rooms, and we want to have that as a network of Eye of the Power Excellence Centers worldwide. That's my idea. So people, if I have my kid and the education system doesn't train my kids so he can be a better person, I can go to Eye of the Power, and Eye of the Power can teach my kids things like this: how to be a better purple, how to be to communicate, how to improve yourself. So this is what we can do, and I want to do in the future, similar to what happened with the English. So if I want my kid to learn English, you go to an English school. So we can do it with personal development. That's one of the ideas. The other thing is, I think we should be able to put this way of thinking and this way of working, and our trainers and our coaches to go worldwide and to do that also on different countries. So what we are doing here with Portuguese, with Brazilians that come here to study with us, with Dutch people that come here to study with us, we can train people so they can do the same on their own countries. So this is part of our vision. Despite that, I want to travel. I like to travel. So we are building trainings that combine traveling with training. So we start 3 years ago, one training, it's called alignment. So you can align yourself, your values, your goals all together. We started in Cancun, then we made it in Turkey. This year we're going to make it in Thailand. Then we changed that to now we have alignment Asia. Then we'll have alignment America, alignment Europe. I think it's a good training because you have a training of 2 days and the rest you are on a resort. So you have time to think about, you have to stop and think about how you are today, what you want in life, and what changes you have to put in practice in your life, so it will align with yourself and with your dreams. So this process that I've been working with 40 years ago, trying to put that on that training, and we have very good stories of people, for example, husband and wife, that for the first time they defined common goals. So me and my wife, we have common goals. For us, this is standard. And suddenly I realized that I have a lot of couples that he has his own dreams, she has or he has their dreams, they don't have common dreams. So something simple like this, define common goals and work together so that you can put in practice and transform those goals on reality. Small things that we can do, but a lot of people don't do it. So we have a lot of work to do.
You just said 40 years. I was going to say 20 years since it was but you've started working on personal development long before you created I Have the Power.
Yes. So I started with 17, and now I'm 60. So it's 43
How
years.
do you keep your motivation, your drive going? So many people switch projects, let go. How do you?
Because I do. That's a very good question, because I do not work by motivation. I work by decision. I realized in the past that motivation is not the best approach. Because motivation is something that changes, is an emotion, is a state of mind. So today you are motivated, you can do everything. You have a problem with your kid or your husband, and then you are under-motivated, you stop being motivated, you stop. No, you decide. I usually have a phrase that says the best motivation is decision. I decided some years ago I'm going to improve myself. So today I'm going to read a book. I'm not specially motivated, but I decided that I'm going to read the book. And then suddenly I realized interesting things. Because I'm reading the book, I find a story that put me happy, and now I'm motivated of something because I was doing the thing. So don't expect to be motivated to start thinking. Just do it, start doing, and in the process you will feel motivation, you will feel happiness, you will feel anger, you will be alive. See, much more than motivation is to being alive. So to build things, I'm not one person that says, I need a dream to be alive. It's different. I'm alive, so I have dreams. I don't need nothing from outside, so I can be happy. I decide to be happy, and then I will change the outside. So people, they think they will be happier if they make money, or they will be happier if they have a relationship. So they will not be able to be alone, and sometimes they try to find someone to stop the void of being alone. No, I'm alone, I'm okay. I have one 75 years old customer that tells me once, Adelino, I want to be with myself because I want to be with special people. I said, that's a good statement. So it seems a happy person. So this is a decision. My decision is to be happy, to dream. My decision is to dream today. My decision is to see a Netflix series. My decision is to go walking by the sea. My decision is to do nothing. It's my decision. So I don't need to be motivated to do something. It's my decision. My decision is to dream bigger, and my decision is to dream small. My opinion is different. My opinion is that everyone should dream bigger. But if a decision of someone is to dream small, to live small, to have small things, and that person believes that's what he needs to do and is happy, I should respect that. Sometimes we find people that those kind of decisions are happier than all other people that have big dreams. There are a lot of people that build big dreams not based on a real decision, and then don't know how to take care of that dream. It's like an an entrepreneur that starts to build a company, and 20 years after, he doesn't own the company. The company owns him. So it starts with decisions. Then in the process, sometimes you will feel motivated, other times not motivated, but you continue doing your work. I think life, it's quite a metaphor, because you are alive independently of your motivation. Some people, they are so in pain, they decide to kill themselves. That's a pity, because sometimes they kill themselves. If they change the way how they see things, probably they will try again. So that's the idea. So I don't have to have that moment of aha, so I can do things. I decide what I'm going to do with my time, and I can decide if someone tells me something that I do not agree. On that moment, I can decide. Let's forget what he's talking about. This does not define you. Sometimes I lose my control. Yeah. That can happen. So if you are listening to me, you think this guy is like a computer. He's always deciding now. I'm human. So recently I had having a training in Lisbon, and one person was making some misconceptions about the way I'll see women and men. I was talking, she didn't wait until the end of the phrase, and in the middle of the phrase, she told me something that did not agree. And she stopped the class, and she told me that. And I reacted. And then the person asked me, "You reacted?" Yes, because I'm human. If you tell something that it's not true about myself, I react. I understand your point of view. I am not angry with you, but I must tell you, because I tell that I do not agree with you. I react. So in classes, people think that the teacher should not react. And I ask her, why? Isn't he human? So if we are human, and if we are alive, we react, we decide, we are happy, sometimes we are not happy. We are alive. That's the idea. So I don't have to be I have to be on an effort moment. I don't have to be different from myself. Just being. And if you decide to read 15 minutes a day, I decided in the past, I just do it. If one day I stop that decision, I will do another thing. My decision right now is continue growing, continue learning. When I was walking near the sea some time ago, I noticed one flower that was crushing the floor of the place when I was walking. I stopped on that moment to understand what was happening there. So this flower can crush, can break the floor if that flower wants to have the sun. So we are much more than a flower.
I wanted to use this sentence, take a decision, as a capsule. I think it's a wonderful capsule for people to carry with them and to hold. And I wanted to say thank you for this entire discussion.
Thank you.
I'm feeling very, very energized, and I've really enjoyed it. And
it was a very good flow.
Yes, yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
And I like your questions. I wasn't expecting those kind of questions.
I'm glad you enjoyed them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.